Oh, there we go. Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus with a slightly delayed Dyson Sphere Program stream. Is the audio working? Everything's okay? Yeah, it's all fine. Cool. We just had a test in the UK of the emergency. Why has that disappeared? No, that's not working. Hang on. There we are. That's better. Just getting all my screen set up. There we go. Yeah, just had a test of the emergency, whatever it calls, broadcast system that they've set up. And basically everyone's phone, well, not everyone, I think there are some people that it's not working for, but sounds an alert even if you've got it on silent and, you know, do not disturb and all that sort of thing is the idea. I guess if we ever get hit by a tsunami or something like that, or there's a meteorite heading towards us, or Putin decides he's had enough. Right, so the Make Everything. Last week I was busy making a Make Everything. We've got loads of little drones flying about. That's pretty damn cool. I don't know if that's tanking my performance, but it seems to be coming through okay. Yes, I think at the end of it I got a bit confused. It's actually quite loud for me. Let's turn that down. I got a bit confused as to which machines I'd made and which machines I hadn't made. I know there's this frame materials. What we could do is go and set that up. I'm not... So there's the whatever they're called, quantum receiver-y things, is it? Some photon combiners. There's them as well. They're relatively simple, so we could set them up as well. Frame material is a bit more complicated, and I very much doubt we'll be able to make anything in volume for them at the moment. Anyway, that's kind of the next job after the Make Everything is making everything, is to really start expanding production across the galaxy. I did seem to recall science was having some problems, but it seems to be ticking away at the moment. I'm not sure if it's maybe the purple that's... Why have we got none of them? It could be because we're not making them. I can't see them. They might be over in the thing over here. I can't see them here either. So we're not making automatic piloters. So I guess that's a test of whether I... Ah, yes. So I tried to map out, didn't I, what I wasn't making. And this is like the photon combiners. I suppose that would be another option, just to make some of those more complicated things in... You know, in the actual Make Everything itself. I guess one of the questions on that is have we got... we do. So we got carbon nanotubes. Because these are just simple. The photon combinators. You know, prisms and circuits. I don't think I think I took prisms off, didn't I? I had it at one point and I was like, well, no, let's get rid of that. So we could bring prisms in, you see, and make... I mean, we could sort them in there, actually. Make a little, you know, production area for both of those. It might be a good use of this little space here, actually. If I was to try and do that... So, for example, if we had a machine here, and it was making a very small handful of photon combiners, it would need those three, so it would fit in quite well, wouldn't it? Boxes, because it could go there, there, and there. I mean, it give me the things to make, you know, and say we could always leave these on. And then when there's an actual production, it will bring them in. But this is like a temporary thing. Because things that it's making, we don't need like a million of anyway. Yeah, I quite like that idea. Just a little temporary production. So it'll be that. And then I think I've been setting everything to one stack. Yes, but the idea today is to try and finish this off, and then sort of use it to do expansion, and sort of see how well it actually works from that point of view. So we want to bring in skirkets. I want it to run them in, and we want it to bring in prisms, which we don't have in the listing, I think. No, well, they've not done anything, so I don't think we have. Did I put bots in there? I did. Not got space there, not got space there. So we could bring prisms in here. Command them in, because we know we've got them somewhere. The next one then that might be a little temporary one is the frame, whatchamacallits, these ones. Now they have 3 ingredients coming in. I don't suppose there's any overlap with any of them, are there? So, silicon, titanium, and because we've got silicon there. I wonder if I just pop something in sort of here. And then we could have another box here. And then one there, one there. And the output is just there. Because, as I say, it's just like a temporary add-on to get us a small handful of the combiners. Like that. And then let's paste in one stack on all of them. Pop things on. Where's the drones gone? There's the drones. Now, I'm not making drones here yet. I don't think. Oops. I think I've set all the recipes, haven't I? But I've not. You know, I'm not making the things. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I don't think. I guess I could order them via the Logi system, but I don't think they're available long range yet. I don't think I've done those researches. Oh, there you go. Science is pausing. So we can see what's going on with that as well. Right. I might as well just stock up generally, I guess. Don't need motors, or what about the basics? Oops. So we can stock these up by the looks of things. That iron. Loads of steel. Must have picked something up with a lot of steel in it. And with inserters. And I guess I should just take some belt to have some, but hopefully that's one of the things we're about to replace. Now we need boxes. But loads of assemblers still. Smelters is irrelevant. Miners are irrelevant. So I could put a lot of steel in there. I don't know that that's useful, but there we go. Freeze up my inventory. Now. Okay. So what we were actually after are these bits and pieces here. I think actually I'll just take all of them. It's not like we're not going to need them. I got lots of boxes, didn't I? Yeah. Let's head back. Oh, what about drones while we're here? Yeah, I could do with some more of them. So, just take a bunch of them. In fact, I don't really need that many. I like this now that you can type it in. What about actual loggy stations? I guess we could just sort of grab. Where have they gone? We could just grab 4 of those. And that evens us up. Super duper. Super duper. Oh, I was going to check the science, wasn't I? So, what were we actually struggling? I think it was just that blue is like slow. Am I going the right way? I don't know. Right, so this is science. So why are you not working? Oh, it's because you're maxed out. What are you waiting on? Oh, you're actually waiting on green, are you? Oh, that'll be because of lenses, and I don't really have a way of fixing that without actually doing a lenses build. Okay, we'll forget about that. Maybe avoid ones with greed on for the time being. I sort of assumed it was purple, but yeah, because I mean that's deceptive. Because yeah, these are making warpers rather than running. But yeah, it's the lack of lenses basically, and I say I've got tiny production of those. So. Right, where did we get to? We were setting this up. I appear to have done too many boxes, don't I? I don't need that one. And that one can be an output. Oh, I can reverse them, can't I? I have to do it like that. That could be an output. Yeah, so we need super alloy stuff. Didn't want that in. We need carbon nanotubes. And make that distribute. This hasn't made anything, which is a little worrying. Did I set the... Why is that not... Is it because I haven't set this? Because that's carbon nanotubes. Oh, it is. I've not even put the belt on. Let alone set it going. Now you're gonna wait. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. That's not good. Oops. Let's put them in there. Wow. Oh. Somebody forgot to put the box on. I know it's not got a top hat on it anyway, so they wouldn't send them around the logistics system. No, I'm putting these as 2, aren't I? Rather than 1. I think. Distribute to other thingies. Provide. Okay, does it have its own bots in? No, it does not have its own bots in. Okay. Is that one properly set up? It is. Okay. There we go. So we've got a few frame materials. It doesn't set... Guess the filter. There we go. Distribute. Provide to other thingy-me-whatsits. Abnormal remaining items. I don't know what that means. Abnormal remaining items. Oh, that's got them as well. I wonder if that's because they've got access to the other route, but then this has got access to the other route. If item carried by logistics box cannot be stored in a storage, they would be remained in logistics distributor. Click to take them out. Oh, so this means they brought too many? Why would they do that? Why you do that, bots? Why you do that? You be silly. Okay. So hopefully we might have made... Get the way. We might have made... No, we still haven't made one of those. Okay. We haven't made one of those either. I'm guessing that because I haven't... I thought... But don't we have these here? We do. It's just that it's so slow pulling them in because it's just a tiny little production. Yeah. So it'll take a while before it makes one of those. But we can work on the next thing. I thought I'd made those, hadn't I? Yeah, they're there. The Raymond receivers are there. It's got one in the thing. Oh, it's not set on provide. What would this be coming in here? That's the output. Ah, so there we go, frame materials. So in theory it'll make some of those as well. Okay. Okay. But yes, so that is made. We've made them, and we've made them. Our stack. Have I secretly made them, and they're just waiting on material? I can't see any. Okay. Let's make them then. I think I decided I was going to just start again because I'm not sure there's too many things we haven't made that use glass. But we could always have a look, see. Because that's storage tanks, isn't it? Which is a bit of a random one. I don't think any of these require glass. No. Okay. I could look seeing what is common, couldn't I? That might be a way to sort of properly work it out. Other than obviously using a spreadsheet. Oh, there's glass there. Iron circuits. So what's that? That's labs. Okay. So maybe I do something there then. Put that there maybe. So this would be labs. Which takes glass. So then we got to decide what else we're putting where. Circuits, magnets. So we got iron, circuits, magnets. Anything? So they use circuits, but that's it. So we're getting into exotic materials here. So these use iron, but I don't think I want to make them. Iron there for the drones. Oh, they use glass as well. It looks like that's fairly unique, isn't it? Mm. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, as I said before, I can sort of imagine a big sort of hive of these, like machines, all sort of chugging away, making everything. Being quite cool. Not necessarily the most efficient, but quite cool. Okay, so did I set that the right way around? I hope I did. Yeah, intending for that to be the output. So where would power need to go? I think one in there. And one there. Need to put the drones in. And then magnets is quite rarely used now, I think, for these higher ones. Ooh, see, it's blow down. So maybe we put circuits here. Used to be on demand, doesn't it? Okay. An iron here. Demand. Supply. Okay. So if there's something in there, it would have to be quite simple, because I don't think I've got any particular use for... I've got iron, super magnets, and crystals, maybe. But then I was going to do something with charging them, wasn't I? I wonder if I've got any... Well, I'm making them. Anything use circuits and iron. That uses circuits, but plasma. Yeah, so we're getting into quite complicated. Oh, maybe because that's plasma, isn't it? I'm just wondering, is that the only one that's got stone? Yeah, so this has got stone and glass, and then steel and like CPUs is a bit more complicated. So that's a bit of a anomaly one, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think that'll work, will it? So there isn't any that use both circuits and iron, are there? Let's just check again. No, in fact there's literally only one thing that uses circuits now. Yeah, so that's the only thing that uses circuits. Three. Trouble is, I think part of the problem here is that everything is like a 4 ingredient. Oh, that's a 3 ingredient. So maybe we should fit that in here now. And they're 3 ingredient, as is that, but that's... I'd need to build the thrusters first. In fact, I've not got the thrusters on the builds, have I? So if we put them in... So we need both thrusters and reinforced thrusters. Make them. Your iron, plasma and CPUs, that might be quite convenient because there's a few things that need those. Okay. So if this is the logistics spot things, logistics drone things, I don't need 3 things, do I? Yes, I do, because that's circuits and I'm not using them. Okay. So I need these inputs. That output. Set a limit on each of those. And then we power here and here. Then those on. Drones in. Set what we want. So we want. If we do the plasmas first, and then CPUs there, because I think there's something else that has both of those. And then that's the output. Let's have a check. So, was there something else that used the plasma and CPUs? Come on, I know there was. Plasma, so, it's not CPUs, is it? Is that the only other thing that uses... No, they use... Oh, that's what we just built. So this, the spray coaters, is the only other thing using plasma. And it doesn't take CPUs. That's very annoying. What do you take? You take circuits and microcrystalline components. Wow. That's very inconvenient of you. So that would be better up here, feeding off of those two, but that's all backwards. I mean, I could rearrange these. Because we could make this... Because they don't need iron, do they? Hang on, let's just build one. So if we put... You know, the machine in there, and it was making spray coaters. Spray coaters. Where are they? Going blind. There we go. So we need the circuits and the plasma are the common ingredients, which is we could swap them and swap them. No, we don't need to swap that, do we? Because it needs... Yes, we do, because it needs the circuits, not the iron. Okay. So if we swap this to circuits, and we swap this to iron, then we need to get rid of what's in here so that it'll actually fill it up. Get rid of what's in there. Okay. And now this is not the output anymore. In fact, that doesn't work at all, does it? Because we would still need 5 things. It could... I mean, would I be able to squeeze it in here instead? So if the machine was here... Yeah, that would work. So yeah, if that's not the output, if the plasma is here... So if this is the plasma, and it's a demand, and we empty the box, and then say this is the output. And I itch my ear. So that becomes the output, which means we need to empty the box. Still empty the box. CPUs is fine there, but that inserter needs to be the other way around. Come on. So it needs the output to that one. But now we're inputting here. Inputting here and inputting here. So it's not getting iron because I've forgotten to do the inserters as well. Because it doesn't need circuits. It's getting in, yeah, it's getting iron. That thing of having them, the extra ones in the thing, is a bit weird. Feels like it's not properly accounting for items in the air, which is a interesting decision. So we've then got the plasma and the circuits. So we'd still need the microcrystalline components, which I don't think we're making. They might... Well, we are making them. I don't know that they're available in the logistics system. My mic seems to be very long way. But we shall see. So we can put that there, that there, and that there. So if this was the output, just because we know there's absolutely nothing else that could go on there. So if that's the output, that's fine. So that's a provide. Oops, I put them in the machine, didn't I? Put those on. Yeah, the bot's in. And then decide what's where. So it needs the microcrystallines and the steel. Well, steel is more likely to be used by something, I think. So this can be the steel. Demand. And then this can be microcrystalline. That one there. Demand that in. Now they didn't launch off, so we're certainly not requesting it here at all. No. So do we add it on here and see what happens? Because I suspect we're not putting it into any kind of logistics system. We would need Logibots in. No, so it's not being produced anywhere. So we could just do a sneaky... There's another unfortunate one. We could have put it in there. Microcrystalline is crystal, silicon and copper, basically. Just thinking, and I could just, again, it's just a temporary one here. And then we could put the boxes round there, there, there. It's obviously completely independent. I'll just put that on way around. Can't I reverse that? No? Can't reverse it like that. So let's get the boxes. The things on. Where's power here? So there and there. We're going to make a very small amount of microcrystalline, which means you need both drones, and you need copper, and you need silicon, and we need that to be distributed. Guess? Guess. Good guess, good guess. Well done. So that'll at least have some microcrystalline available. There you go, 15 coming in, it reckons. I don't suppose did this. No, we could put it as a setup though. Oh no, I'm doing 2 on these, aren't I? Just to provide a bit of a buffer. Like so. And then we'll put a belt. Like that. So whenever it is eventually available, I can pull it in. Okay. Which ones have we finished now? Finish that one. Oops. I can't do undoing that. What was that? I think that was orbital collectors. Maybe. I think. So I want to get rid of That one. Did I do fractionators? I thought I did fractionators. Because I was going on about it being the only one that needed glass. If I did, it's not here. Are these available? Yeah. What about you? Yeah. Huh. I've just done spray coaters, haven't I? Did we do stackers? I don't think we did. We are getting into the weeds of some really weird stuff, aren't we? So, how about... I seriously didn't do fractionators. Let's have a look in these. How are we doing? So we got all of the stuff there, all of the stuff there. Got some of these coming in now. Both of them? Yeah, both of them. We haven't got the automatic pilers. Okay. Well, we've got some of those coming in. Did I not set these on demand? Okay. Interesting choice there. Interesting choice. Not demand. Set the limits is what I'm talking about. And I've put all of these together. I have. Okay. Oh, have we not got solar panels then? Or is that just an error of... You know, it's not setting the box correctly. I can't see them. Because solar panels are silicon and copper, you see. So actually, we could have shared these. Okay. How about I rework this then? So, if we make this the output, so make that provide, get rid of that filter, take those out. So this becomes the output. And then we put two boxes. Where are the boxes gone? Not sort of there and there, maybe. Or would it be better if I put one there? No, it gets a bit messy then. If I put two there. And then this is... I really haven't made solar panels. Nope, can't see them. Okay. So these become the copper and silicon, so that we can feed them into both. And things, drones. Why have I got a weird number of drones? That implies I've robbed something out of something. Can't tell what it is if I have. So this would be, say, copper, and this is silicon. They both want to be on demand. And then we put... Let's put it up there and there. Because the solar panels also need circuits. Should have just done that. What was it? Circuits. And then this is the output. Did I not put drones in them? No. All the lights flash when you send them out. What does the red mean then? Does that mean you've got... Oh, that's because it's got this remaining items thing. Huh. That's interesting. Interesting. It is set on provide, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So, we've now got solar panels, which is not on my list here. So obviously was getting a bit confused, I think, last time. Right, so how about we do Pilar? Because a lot of these are quite weird, if you see what I mean. They're sort of odd ingredients, and we need to do something special with, you know, charging. Excuse me, anyway. The fractionator's more normal, but it's 4 ingredients. Don't suppose they've got anything in common, have they? They've got steel in common. And CPUs in common. Okay, so maybe we put those two next to each other, because this is getting into the super rarefied. You know, that needs unipolar magnets. This needs all these ingredients that I'm just, you know, I'm nowhere near making, as does that. So we would, I think probably I'll just leave these. Well, not that one. We'll do that one. But I'll leave these 3 because there's no real point setting them up at all, because you know I'm just nowhere near making those things yet. So we want to focus more on sort of drones. We could do the orbital collectors, but we need the magnets first. We could do the geothermal. That's a bit more normal. So if we do these 3, in fact, now that one as well, and we put that there. So we do want to do all of these, but we will leave those, and we need to do something special for these. If we try and build these 3 next. So we've got steel and CPUs. Common between that. That's also needing steel. But then 3 complete... oh, well, those need magnets, don't they? So can I arrange these 3 together? And, like, maximise the sharing? And where would be a good place to do that? So... guess let's start here. Can't see the boxes for the boxes. When there is steel there and CPUs. But we want to share them, really. Let's have a look at it again. Steel and CPUs. Steel and CPUs. And that's quantums and coppers and blue magnets. I could just make one of them here, couldn't I? And then, does that give it those 2? If I had boxes, oops, there and there and there. So one of them so if I had the fractionator, you see, then it would get the CPUs and the steel, but I would need to find places to put the stone and the glass, which aren't shared. If it was the geothermal, all it would be able to get is the steel. So that's a bad choice. And then the... is it the pyre I'm making as well? Yeah, the pilar. Which, as I've said before, I kind of just don't really use at all. But so if that was the pilar, again, it would get the steel and the CPUs. The blue engines it could share with the other one. Yeah, it just doesn't really benefit it in terms of sharing, does it? But it depends on what I want to do. Yeah, go on. We'll just build these fairly boring with minimal sharing, I think. So. I don't suppose there's anything it could share instead with these, are there? Iron, CPUs and thrusters. Weird stuff, CPUs and super thrusters. What about you? Steel and copper. So if that's steel and copper... Well, they needed CPUs, didn't they? One of these. What about this? Iron, green and CPUs. So that's steel and copper. Steel and copper. If I put those the other way around, no, because it's not. It would be green motors I would need, wouldn't it? So that's not actually beneficial. Let's just pop in. So which was the steel one? It's the super thrusters, isn't it? Yeah, the sort of mega thrusters. So if this was copper, no. If that's copper. So give it the steel. Do I want to do it that way around? Because ideally I'd have like a 2-to-1 type of thing anyway. It wouldn't be doing it quite like that anyway. So that needs to be an input, doesn't it? So this is going to be the... Oh, let's get some power on first. And yeah, that seems too close. Machine. I guess it's because it. No, it's fine. Right, so I keep losing sight of them. There they are. Because this was the output at the bottom, wasn't it? This was going to be these thrusters. So this needs to be copper. And then this is the thrusters. I'm just wondering to see if I can put... Can I put what needs the super thrusters, reinforced thrusters, in there? Oh no, it's regular thrusters, isn't it? Yeah, I've put that in the wrong recipe. This needs to be regular thrusters. What? I've picked the wrong one again. Regular thrusters. And it's that drone, which is iron and CPUs. Because I'm just wondering. I mean, we could have that on there anyway. It's like an I don't know what priority order it does them in, but as like an excess one. You see, if we do that, then this can be drones, because it gets the CPUs, the thrusters, and the iron plate. If we add that on. So we can have iron plate there, But it might be able to kind of double this up, because what else do you need? Steel. So we might be able to do that and make that one thrusters as well without an output. So that takes copper from there as well. And it needs steel again, does it? Yeah, steel. And now these could go in there instead. Oh, you know. So it needs iron plate, doesn't it? And that needs steel. So a box would need to go there, and a box would need to go there. Because it needs steel, and that needs iron plate. So that one needs to be iron plate. This one needs to be steel. I forgot to put the drones in. So this one is steel. And this one is iron plate. And that one I haven't set the limit on. But I probably want that to be higher anyway. Because when I use them, because they don't stack as high as, effectively as high as the other ones, so just having it chunk away producing them is probably not a bad idea. So I don't know whether it'll fill that box up first or it puts them in there first. It looks like it's trying to fill the box first, because I can't see this activating at all. Wait, is that set on reinforced thrusters? Yeah. I mean, it's made one, so it's made 5. Okay. So that's drones kind of made, and thrusters. What about you lot? Because you're iron plate, and because we could use that iron plate to make them. Is that right? So we need 3 ingredients for this. Iron plate, the green motors, and processors. Okay. So iron plate, and then we shall see whether any of those are common to anything else. Because I thought green motors are. Okay. So if this was the green motors, what else would we need? The CPUs. Aren't the CPUs using them? They are. As are the titanium. Super titanium stuff. So if that was CPUs, I need to put the limits on the boxes. So if this was, say, green motors, and this is the outputty one, so that's the... Oh! Why is that? Oh, it's because it's in the wrong place, isn't it? So it needs to be there. There. So that's the output, and that's an input of... I've forgotten which way around I said it needed to be. Or I'm thinking of it being. But this is like that. Okay. So this is... Oh, no. Didn't mean to do that. Oh, no, it is. That's right. Because it's the machine itself, isn't it? Yeah. Right. There. That one there. So, I think green motor's here. We shall see. And I think titanium there. But as I say, we shall see. You're not getting iron, are you? Because I forgot to put the inserter on that one. So that gives you iron. Are you working? No, because this needs to be CPUs. Have I messed that up? We've got... So they need the titanium, but these need titanium and green. Which I'm thinking they can grab from by being there. And then that could be a shared one. And we put another titanium there. Because if that's the reinforced thrusters, oops, like that. If that's another one of those, so that's titanium. Then they both share that. We could have a box here. I feel like it's not really overspill, but overspill. They both feed into one making the loggy vessels, which doesn't then have access to titanium. Why have I put that there? That should be CPUs, shouldn't it? Yeah, that's CPUs, not titanium. That was the error. Oh, bum. You filled the box, bots. You filled the box. I've not done that universally, have I? No. Oh, we got somewhere else that uses titanium alloy. Become a bit difficult to see. I don't know if that's because I've used the green colour on the floor, and that's not helping. But I mean, that is also titanium, so we could put... Oh, crikey, that's not limited either. I suppose they are quite heavy usage of titanium, so maybe it's not bad if it's just got some in. Because I think, like with Factorio, it'll pull out of unused or blocked things. But that wasn't going to be titanium anyway, was it? That was the whole point of trying to empty it, was to get it to do CPUs. And so we do need another titanium box. Or I could move that up there because it might fit in there. It's probably too close to the turbine. Boxes. Yeah. Oh. That's a crunchy autosave, isn't it? That's not a good sign. But yeah, that's the overflowy one. That's going to be titanium again. So if you're the actual... You would need super titanium, so that's okay. Yeah, because these guys do need CPUs. That's fine. So that could be the super titanium. You need both of these two. And the super titanium. And then we have an extra box for CPUs. Say there. And that's the other. I'm thinking that's probably going to be more likely to be used, and if we put it over there, we can just sort of use it as needed. Should I offset it though? I should probably offset it so that we can put something else in there. So, power. 2 over that, 2 over that. This is the excess. We better make sure we've limited the size of those. Hello, Margaret. Yay, still here. Thank you very much for the subscription. That's very kind. 2-month streak. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. How have you been? What am I trying to hook into there? It must be the green motors. No, I've got green motors. So this must be... No, that's the output, isn't it? That's what I'm doing. That's the output for the things, in which case we probably need that to be 2. And then, what are we missing? We're missing CPUs and the titanium. Now that has to be the titanium there. Boop. Do you want that? I've not got any bots in these, have I? Oh, I've just put it in the chest. Idiot. In fact, that's not got a top hat on. That wants to be a provide. It is a little fiddly setting these up, I would say, but I guess the point is once it's done, because there's no, you know, because they're providing them. What am I looking to bring in there? That must be CPUs. Yeah, they're sort of not. Can I? No, it won't automatically adopt the filter. That's unfortunate. So CPUs, you're bringing them in. Got bots. You need to provide clusters. Provide. I'm good. Busy with live, so I missed a lot of your streams. How are you? Yeah, that's no worries. I mean, if you wanted to catch up, they're obviously all on the YouTube. But I'm not too bad. I've been having a bit of a tough time at work, so it's nice to get to just play, you know, some of my builder games on stream. But yeah, it sort of crystallised my decision on Friday that I think I'm probably going to try and move on kind of as soon as I can, because I'm just not enjoying it. And I had like performance review thing, and it wasn't really. I don't think it was really a fair assessment. It was sort of overly critical, given I've been put under the most gigantic amount of stress for the last 6 months, and so some of the criticism felt unfair. But that's all IRL stuff. It doesn't affect this. I think they're all I'm just trying to check that they're all actually running, is the thing. Because I've just put in a lot of machines in a very small area. I can also start grabbing them out of here now, rather than... Oh dear, that's bad. It's very difficult to check whether they're properly capped as well. Cool. But yeah, I mean, it's in whatever your life things were have kind of sorted themselves out. Or I guess we could try and put that in somewhere as well. But it's like completely different agreement. Apart from the thrusters, which the whole point of putting them in a box is so that we can access them. There's not really much benefit to building it sort of here or something, because it needs loads of other weird ingredients. And what we really need to do is set up the old powery dischargey thing. So, how far has this moved over? So they're about parallel now. Okay, so I'm wondering if I try and build here, maybe? I do love these drones buzzing about. It's quite cool. Right, yes, so go back to the original thing I was thinking about, and we'll build some of these, I think. So they both share steel and CPUs, and that also shares steel, and it shares the blue motors, but that's it, because that's photon combiners and the copper, that's gears, and that's stone and glass. So it suggests that perhaps they're difficult to run through as well. Right. Yeah, I think I'll just like properly start again because we got all this space now. So let's use that. Right, let me think. So if I put, where would it be? It'd be there, wouldn't it? If we have the stone and glass in here. I put that too close, like a silly person. So that would be going into the fractionator. Stone and glass. That gives me the opportunity to put steel in one there. And what else does it share? It also shares CPUs. So CPUs could go in there. And then this one will take the CPUs and the steel. And then this. So this was going to be what? Was that the stackers? Steel and stackers, and then they have blue motors, okay. Which is the shared one, and gears with geothermal. Steel and blue. Okay, let's see if we can get that to, whoops. We don't crash into the machines. Oh, I know you feel I ended up at home since last June. Burnout started years ago. Didn't feel seen anymore, and then the department got taken over, and my workplace went from a 15-minute bike ride from home to a 1.5-hour train journey. Wow. Right, I did get a deal with work so I could leave, but didn't have to work anymore. So now I'm getting help into getting a job I really want. Oh well, that's. I mean, it's good you've got some progress. It's sort of. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't like to use the word burnout for where I was because it sort of feels, I don't know. So that wouldn't be there, would it? I think it'd be there instead. Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly burnt out on this project that I've been doing. You know, I almost can't stand the sight of it, while thinking about it. So I wouldn't describe myself as overall burnt out. But yeah, I certainly reached a point where I'm just no interest in this project at all. And yet it's another 2.5 years before it finishes. So I think it'd be bad for the project if I stayed, to be honest with you. I think also, I mean, to be fair to work, I think if I started sort of explaining that, you know, if I sort of, you know, sort of had some frank discussions with them about that sort of thing, the problem is, I don't know what else, I mean, they wouldn't sack me because, you know, the UK and stuff like that, and there's sort of protection, and even if they did, I could sue them and all those sort of things. So I don't think it would risk my job. But it's like, if, because what I tried to do on Friday at the review was kind of sort of say, this isn't working, this is a bad idea, what's our plan for solving it? And the answer was, there is no plan, just get on with it. And if that's where we are, I say I'm not sure it's a good idea for me to continue, because at some point I'll have a breakdown basically, and either like snap and, you know, sort of shout at someone in some way, or do something silly like that. So it's blue motors, isn't it? That's the shared one. Steel and blue motors. Okay, so if we make, or you know, just have a breakdown. You know, have a mental breakdown. So if that was the blue motors in there, let's start putting some of these in. So that's the out. Those are the two. Oops, is that the right place? Outputs there. Not my problem in the end. No, I suppose that, yeah, that's sort of the point, really. Would you mind if I ask what it is you do, as it were? What, you know, what your, you know, you developer or creative type role, or? I'm not actually sure where you're based, because it sounds like, well, one of the things I did at one point, I don't know why, I actually considered moving to, it was actually the Middle East, because I had like quite a plum job offer, where it was like almost like a essentially they wanted to poach me, basically, from the job I was doing, and, you know, I sort of took some advice from, you know, some people, and basically what they were saying is that I would be paid exceptionally well, you know, like life-changing sums of money, and they basically said that what they pay incredibly well, sort of in the, you know, so talk about sort of Arab countries, you know, the sort of oil-rich companies, basically, they pay incredibly well, but they expect you to deliver, and if you don't deliver, it's like, you know, you're just out on you just get fired, basically. You're just gone, you know. You know, as soon as anything goes wrong, they just get rid of you, basically. So fractionators, stackers, and geotherms. Okay. And I just thought, you know, that's probably too risky for me. I'd rather work somewhere with a safety, because obviously you could land. I mean, hopefully you'd be paid sufficiently well that you saved up money and you had, you know, enough for a plane ride home sort of thing. But there's always that risk if it's the sort of country where they just sack you and you're gone, like they do in the States. I think, you know, you could end up basically destitute, you know, because at least in the UK there are a lot of protection measures, not quite as good as Europe though. But so which would be which? This would be the stackers, I guess. Would that be right? And then that would be the geotherm. Working pathology department in a hospital. Oh, interesting. In the Netherlands, that kind of native work I make with a passion. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, it's sort of interesting, you know, what different countries sort of, you know, how they balance things up, really. But, I mean, it would have been an incredibly bad decision I've discovered anyway, because I'm a terrible traveller. I don't know if it's sort of there's an element to it of my dad's a bit of a traditionalist, shall we say? He's kind of, there's always that thing of nature and nurture, and it's difficult to know whether some of the things I've picked up are because of, you know, my upbringing, or whether it's like genetic, basically. And I say being a terrible traveller is one of his problems as well. He can't adapt to other cultures. You know, because we had a few holidays and stuff abroad, and it's just like, they just can't hack it, basically. It's like, it's a bit like that, the traditional view of the Brits where, you know, they go to Spain and all they do is go to pubs that are British-themed pubs. And he's kind of in that sort of mode, really. So, stone brick, and what was the other weird thing? It was glass, wasn't it, for this? But it's, you know, it's the type of, you know, it's the age he is, see. But difficult, as I say, then to know. So this has to be the steel, because that's triple shared. And then that must be the CPUs, because that's double shared. Or just shared. So that becomes a quest. Did I put drones in all? I did, didn't I? So that's got to be the output. And that's got to be the output. So which is the shared one between these? It's the blue motors, I think. Put that in. So this must be cogs. And photon, whatchamacallits, I guess? If it's geotherms. Does that give you everything? Not quite, because you need copper as well, don't you? Cool. I love my job, my colleagues and their pay was good. I loved helping solving problems, and as a team we did a lot of work together. But it all fell apart because of our bad choices from management. Yeah, it's all often the way. And it's a bit cliche in a sense to say it, but you know, it is true that a lot of, as you go up the chain, basically, it tends to be all about, you know, money and profit and making money and all those sorts of things, and that's fine, I guess. You know, I mean, I suppose in a hospital situation, I don't know whether the Netherlands is. I think it's socialised healthcare to some degree, but it still doesn't mean they don't have to save money and, you know, pressure from whatever the funding sources are is just inevitable. And that's one of the things I am slightly worried about with my job as well. Where I work is basically going to become a government department. It's all a bit complicated, but it will become essentially a part of government. It sort of is at the moment. It's what's called a regulated monopoly, which basically means it's the only company, in quotes. It's not really a company, but it is a company. But it's the only company that does what it does, and can do what it does. There's not even, because we have like privatised monopoly utilities, so like the water and electricity and gas and that sort of thing. But you have them, you know, as a consumer, that your interaction with them, those companies. There are multiple water companies, but they aren't allowed to compete with it. Well, they can't compete with each other because you can't. How could, you know, a water company in the north of England supply water to an individual in the south? It's slightly different with electricity, but yeah, it's basically that situation where you couldn't have another company doing what we do. It would be nonsensical. But because of that, and because of what it is, how critical it is, I say they basically slowly pushed the organisation. I don't know why these aren't coming in. I guess they're just so few. They're made in this little thing here. Yeah, it's just a volume thing, isn't it? Which is what I knew. That makes sense. And we're hardly going to need 1 million geotherms anyway. But yeah, we're now making all of those. I think we're almost there. We need to do the power thing. So we've got those 3 going. So we need to do this, whatever weird arrangement I'm going to do there. And then that will enable us to do this one. Yeah. I think that's just going to have to sit on its own, really, but it could be part of this arrangement. But yeah, as I say, and so they've finally reached the point where they're essentially going to nationalise what we do. I mean, it's not, it'll be a company, but it won't be a company. And it's just, I know, having been a contractor at government departments, although profit goes away as a thing, it all becomes about cost saving, and it's all, you know, what can you do for no money whatsoever? And given the root cause of what's, you know, causing me all these problems is the fact that there just isn't enough staff, and I'm having to do about 4 people's jobs. Well, that's just going to get worse, isn't it? We're not going to join government and get 20 extra staff. We're going to join government and lose staff to save money. I mean, that's not going to happen for a good long while. I say it's just another red flag, really. Everyone left after another. Only 4 people would leave according to management. Turns out 4 are left now. 36. Wow. Wow, that's actually, I mean, that's a bloodbath, isn't it? that sort of level of thing. So you're looking for another job in pathology? That's one of those areas, isn't it? That I'm not getting confused at what pathology is. Am I? That's it's yeah, like post-mortem stuff, isn't it? Pathology, or it's like causes of illness. I think, is that right? Because I'm pretty sure I got a friend who's in that area, and he's basically a statistician. He's like a data scientist, basically. And then he's sort of a bit surprising that he sell it with statistics, sort of thing, rather than test tubes and beakers, But yes, that's that sort of areas. There's a few. It's like archaeology is one. Everyone sort of says, "I'd love to be an archaeologist," Right. Why are these energy exchangers still not coming in? Have I not made them? I was sure I did. Oh, there they are. There they are. Why? Oh, it's not on supply. It doesn't even have any drones in either. Provide 2 other things. Oh, now it kicks in. I guess it just needed to process through. Okay, so let's run through them again. Just make sure we've kind of got everything. So we've got all the basic belts. We've got them, including counters. We've now got Raymond receivers. Excellent. We still don't have stackers. I've just made them, haven't I? Why are you not getting them? Okay. Why are you not getting stackers? Is this not set properly? Oh, that should be on demand, shouldn't it? Yeah. Okay, that's okay. Spray coaters. But we know they're like photon combiners, aren't they? So, oh no. Why have you got so few of them, given that was like an hour ago? Spray coaters here are lacking silicon. Request. Why are you not making the silicon stuff? Oh, it's not got the... I wonder why randomly it does that sometimes. Like that one's not. Oh, it's just because it's empty. Yeah, okay. Maybe that was where I was changing it over. Just sort of colleagues that still there told me that they wanted them to work on Saturdays, otherwise they're going out of business. Wow. Yeah, we are looking for cause of illness. Postmortem is a super small part of health. Yeah. I'm leaving the pathology only. Well, it's super small. They're my first choice, so yeah, I get some money to figure it out. Oh, cool. But it's good that this is the sort of thing of, I know I'm a bit of a lefty, to be honest with you, and it's sort of why, why I think that, because, you need, like, safety nets, basically, for people. It's just not, sustainable in a sense to have, or it's not sort of fair on people. It's like, for it all to be about, the job and being employed all the time, sort of thing. You need to be able to, it's like that thing you get, them saying, oh, it's about, fail fast, as it were. All these sorts of mantras that you get in business. But then, if people do that, and don't, the job goes away type of thing, we need to have some kind of protection mechanism for when that happens. So we've got the energy exchanges, so I need to grab at least one of those. Why are the geothermals not coming in? We've got all of these. Ah, that's not coming in either. Because I'm not even requesting it. Is it set properly? Okay. What else? Oh, am I not? I'm definitely making them. In fact, let's put that on 200. Ah, maybe I'm just not requesting them in. So this should be labs. Am I making them but not? Oh! Okay. So I'm not making any assemblers. Okay. Right. Well, we need to fix that. And they have boxes set. Crikey. So, we've been skipping ahead, doing all sorts of fancy stuff. And I put that as the level 3, but we're not even making level 1 and 2. So that's a bit of a thing we need to fix. In fact, let's put them here if I can. Because really, I guess that should be a chain. Huh. Interesting. Netherlands is a pretty good system when you get out of a job. Apart from the government, it will help you find new jobs or even find at school if that is what you need. But it comes with a price it takes. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I say that's the sort of flip side to it, isn't it? Sort of, you know, you pay a lot in taxes when you have that sort of system. But to me, that seems fair. It's like I always see taxes as kind of being the price for being part of a society. If that's a weird, I don't know if that's a weird thing to say, but it's like, you know, some people benefit massively from society, and naming no names, and a lot of it is luck. It's the honest truth when you really look at these things. You know, being in the right place at the right time, type of thing. Don't tell me I'm not making them either. I've just completely not bothered with the basics, have I? Seriously, I'm not making them. Okay, fine. Maybe it's because they're stacked ones, and I'm like, well, I'll do it as a stack. Huh. I mean, not stacked ones, chained ones. I bet I'm not making chemical labs either, am I? No, that shouldn't be on demand. Demand is here. So this chemical labs. No, not making them either. Wow. Okay. Wow. I'm definitely making fractionators. I'm not making them either. I've missed out loads of stuff. I thought I was nearly done. But yeah, we just set fractionators up. So if this isn't working, it's because, yeah, because I've not set the machine properly. So we're not making those. No. But that's expected. Right, so, wow. I'm nowhere near done with this, am I? So, not only are we not making the level 2s, we're not making the level 1s either. So we need chemical labs. And we need arc smelters. We do also need the, whatever they're called, the, I always think of them as UFOs. They look like UFOs on the top of the machines. Okay, you help each other. When I don't get a job in a couple of months, I need that system. Pay for it for 14 years. Exactly, yeah. And that's the sort of thing of it, isn't it? It's like, if you're paying into that system for, now we're definitely making the drones. So why aren't they coming in? Guess that's not set properly. That one isn't. Wait, is it? Yeah. Yeah, it's the fidget spinners. Why is that missing? Oh no, we've got the fidget spinners already, so we don't need to do that. So that'll be whatever we fill in that gap with. We've got them. So the drones mustn't be set properly. Woo. Yeah, there we go. So that's that one. Okay, so back to basics then. I think I'm going to do this first though. I don't know about you, I might just leave that. We can make them, but it's like... Well, I suppose it's meant to be a make everything, but... You know, I'll probably end up with like 5 of them in total. Because they're horrible to run with power. I love the sound of the UFOs. Yeah, they're great, aren't they? I like that both the bits spins. I don't know, I've got... I think I might have been saying this before. They're like... It's a 1950s type... I'm sure there's like a restaurant or something like that, a famous one, that has, you know, that type of, you know, because both bits spin. It's, oh, all 3 bits rather. It's like really cool. It's one of the best models, isn't it? Okay. Let's do the whole batteries thing then. Work out how I'm going to do that. And then we'll go back and do these basics ones. I was surprised, obviously, that I wasn't doing them, but then I was like, oh yeah, I don't ever remember setting them up, so why would I be surprised? Okay, am I going to build them here or here? Let's have a look at what we need to actually build them. Because basically, we need to make the actual accumulators. Because what I'm thinking of this is really is not the like off-planet supply geothermal batteries travelling around. This is more the production of the accumulators to support that system, and the charge ones, and also using the charge ones to make the orbital collectors. So it's not. I say it's not like a mass production thing. It's more like a small thing that I can use to top up when I need to do the, you know, cross-planet battery transfer thing. So what you need is iron, blue magnets, and silicon crystals. Now we happen to have silicon crystals there. Guess I'm just not making very many of them at all. Blue magnet. So you would need iron and silicon crystals, and it doesn't use CPUs at all, does it? So if this was here, so it's making the, where are they? They are, like, well, I keep calling them batteries, accumulators. So it would need silicon crystals and iron ingots. Now we could put those above and below, and we probably want to feed them into a machine, a box, and then have that box, because you need to feed these in with a belt, is why it gets weird, in and out with a belt. It's one of the few machines that does that approach. So if we, because I need to take them out of the box. Yeah, so if it's there, would that work? Because we can put a belt there, for example. In fact, yeah, put a belt there, have them coming out, and then another box here, say. Doesn't really matter. You see, we can't take them out with an inserter. It doesn't work that way. But I mean, I could obviously use that one. In fact, why don't I use that one? That's more. Ah, the hitboxes on these are enormous because it's like a square. That square there, and all of the time I'm accidentally deleting the machines. Right. Where was I going to put it? Do I want to move it up one? Can I move it up one? So I put it... No, I can't put it there because the box is in the way. Put it there. And then... Oops. You can have that there. And it outputs them like that. Oh, I was going to do it again. Belt in. Yeah, that'll work. So this is the charged ones. Here. What else do I need? It was like silicon crystals. Am I bringing silicon crystals in? We will have to see. Oh, hello, Alexandriano. Hello, how do you use this drone distribution system? Now, there's a question. Welcome to the chat, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. So, there is a... Well, the very basic version of it is you put a chest down, meaning a storage Mark 1. It's a point, actually. Does it work with storage Mark 2? Oh, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. So you can put it on the storage Mark 2, which is the bigger one. But the drone system, you have to obviously research it, and you get the logistics distributor. That is a thing that attaches to chests. So it attaches to both chests. Does it call them... Oh, storage, but whatever it calls them. Just calls them storage, doesn't it? Storage Mark 1 and storage Mark 2. I wonder, actually... I don't suppose it would. It wouldn't make sense, but... Sorry, I'm just very curious whether it also works. I don't know why it would. Does it work on these? I can't see why it would. Let's just out of curiosity see. So no, so it doesn't attach to the logistic storage. So you've got your two types of boxes, or chests or storage, whatever you want to call them. Your small ones and your big ones. And it does attach to both. Okay. And what you do, I say you put one on, and it's literally just a case of, oops, build the box, add, people call them top hats, but this machine here. This then gives you access. So effectively, this then has access to everything in the box. However, it really only works on one item, and you set which item it's going to work with here. So if, for example, this box had a whole load of titanium alloy in it, and you can obviously set any limit that you want on, you can use the guess filter. Obviously, if you've got lots of different things in the system, then it'll, it might guess wrong. So you probably want to set it yourself. But basically, you tell it what you want it to operate with. So hit the titanium, and it's saying the 30 there because we've got 30 in the box. You've then got two options, basically. There's Icarus is obviously your mecha, so you've got the option here to provide and collect from Icarus, so you can set requests in your logistics system here. And you've got the option of actually like giving it different types of settings, so whether it does both provide and collect, whether it only does provide, whether it does collect, and then you've got that option of collect all types, which is just means you can have generic storage boxes, but this is obviously operating on the titanium, and then provide or collect. The other thing you can do is this. So what I'm using it for is this, which is basically saying to connect it to the main logistics system, and it's saying, right, well, provide that to other boxes with the top hat on. And you've got two options. You can either set it to request or demand, basically. Request and demand, both, it's capped by the actual chest itself. You can't set, to the best of my knowledge, you can't set how many you want it to do. So you can't tell it bring 100 in. All you can do is set this so that it has the appropriate limit. And you have to be a bit careful with that because it will just fill the box or empty the box. Irrespective, these boxes still operate as normal. They still have connectors on them, so you can still use belts and stuff. I'm trying to do this entirely with the drones. To actually get the drones to go in, you just literally put them in. You can do it remotely. You can control left click on them. And once they're in, it does need power, obviously, as it says there, so you do need to connect it to your oops, wrong power pole. You need to connect it to your power system, and they charge, and it's a bit like the ILS system. You can set the max charging power and all that sort of stuff. But if we then set this to demand, you'll see that all the bots fly off and go and collect that resource from there. And then obviously, as I say, you can feed it into machines, or you can get it to provide you or don't provide you. The special trick that I didn't know this, I hadn't read it in the patch notes or what have you. The special trick with them is this. You can now put the storage boxes on top of splitters. So if you put a splitter and then put a box on top and then put the top hat on, what you've then got is the equivalent of a Factorio chest, basically, because you can obviously you feed it in with just a belt like that, and then whatever's coming into this splitter automatically gets put in the box. So if I temporarily say put in these plasmas like that, and then we get them to come out of this particular thing there, you see they're feeding in, so they're not stopping. So there's you can still use them as, you know, insert in as splitters. They still work that way. I'm sure there's very clever things you can do with automatically managing them and stuff. But if we set this again, you know, the box here is just filling up with them, and we might want it to only have one stack. And if you put the guest filter, they're there then, and then you can say make them available or alternately request them in. That's what I'm doing over here. Is I'm saying, for example, these matrix labs, I am requesting them in and then feeding them into this planetary logistics system. Super cool, thanks. No problem, no problem. Any other questions? Do shout. It is, if you've played Factorio, it is staggeringly similar to that. It feels, if I'm totally honest, like they've kind of come up with the system. I mean, you know, a lot of these games, Satisfactory or that, they do sort of derive, yeah, they are sort of, you know, I don't know about based, but, you know, there's an element of, you know, inspired by Factorio, I suppose, is the phrase. Which is not a bad thing, because I love Factorio. But, yeah, it does feel a little bit in this case like they have sort of gone, right, well, how do we do a Factorio-like system? In fact, actually, I want probably more than 200 in there. We want loads of the little things. And I say this is how they've sort of botched is the wrong word, but you know, thrown together a system that kind of does the same thing. Which say that's not meant as a criticism as such, it's more observation. Right, so if we bring in those, we have not got crystalline silicons according to that. Just want to make sure. Yeah, there's no crystalline silicon. So we're pretty sure that's available in the system. So I'll pull that in. We will set a belt to grab it there, put it in there, make sure the box is set. Oh, I've never put a thing on either of those, did I? So we want drones in both of those. That wants to supply. That also wants to supply. And we're good. Yeah, I was a bit. Somebody actually. I'm not. It might have been you. Was it me, Margaret? Don't play Factorio, but I love Dyson Sphere. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why. It's sort of. It is a great game. But yeah, I'd say it's just sometimes easier to, you know, if you just say, you know, it's basically like the, you know, logistics chess system. Then, you know, if you've played that, then you'll grasp it straight away. But the reverse is also true. If you ever played Factorio, you would, you know, fully understand that straight away, I think, because it is similar sort of idea. I have not set the capacity on that one. Have I done it on all of them? because we do not want a million billion of those. Provide, we don't want to provide, we want to request. So that should give us the iron. We want that to be on provide. Oops, on provide. And that to be on provide. No, can't guess because it's not got anything. So that would be... where are they? Charged accumulators. Cool. Yeah, I sort of... I had a few, you know, a few streams ago, I had a little bit of a play with it and was quite impressed then. Where the heck is that? Must be over here. Oh, look, that's completely dead. I'll get rid of that then. Here we go. So I had a little bit of play with it before. I was trying to see how does it work and what have you. And I'm not sure it's practical for this type of building where you're building, you know, the motors and magnets and all that. So I'm not sure it's efficient for that. I think more traditional, you know, planetary logistic systems probably the way to go for that, but these sorts of things that make everything in particular, I think it's perfect for. And this, the fact that you can do the diagonal inserters and therefore get quite a lot of density is quite cool. And as other people pointed out, obviously you can still run belts through. I've been deliberately doing it all with bots. But yeah, it's quite a cool system, I think. So, did I put that on charge? I do. I'm guessing... yeah, the drones are quicker then, aren't they? Okay, that's interesting. So the drones take it out, because it's putting obviously the battery in, and there's an inserter there that could put it on the belt, but instead the drones are grabbing it first. That's interesting. Okay. Right then, so we can now set up the, whatever it calls them, collector thingies. So we've got those two done. So I want the orbital collectors. The system looks very slick. Yeah, I say, I mean, I think I would have an enormous amount of fun. I'm not sure it would make the greatest streams, but I think because there's so many shared ingredients, I think coming up with like an optimized way of doing it, and particularly, and you've got old Nilas there, I think a modular system where you can go, right, well, this is my... because you can get the drones really early. Where are they? It's the distribution logistics system. That it's super early in the chain. And I think the ingredients to make it aren't... so you got CPUs for the actual boxes, which isn't great, and then... so you would need to do that research chain. But, you know, this is a very early tech. Or you could make it a very early tech. What I did when I was doing it, obviously, when I was getting there, is it's actually super close to planetary logistics, and that's what I'm familiar with. So, you know, there's almost an argument of go down that route. But I think, you know, there's going to be a few Nilas videos on building, or he may have already done them. I don't tend to watch his Dyson ones. Of like an optimized, you know, modular blueprint for stamp this down and that gets you everything in the first early part of the game, and stamp this down and that builds you all your ILS system, and stamp this down and that gets you all your machines and that sort of thing. It'd be quite good fun to put one of those together, I think. Right, so we need to build those, and in theory we've got the charged whatchamacallit eventually, but we would need thrusters, which are over here. Okay. If I was to move that to there, then maybe we could put, if this was sort of tucked in here, what else would it need? because we could steal those thrusters out of that thing. We would need to order in the batteries and the blue engines and the ILS. Would it fit? So if we literally put it sort of here, we would have 3 slots, wouldn't we? Which wouldn't be enough. Because we need to bring 4 things in. I don't think that would work, would it? We're going to... Oh, that could work. Yeah, so if I move this over here... That's a question, actually. Can I copy... Because we know we got that there. So if I copy that, we know we can place that. Can I copy that as well? Oh, I can. Okay. Oh, I need to put the things in. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure it would make the greatest streaming thing, because there's an element to it of I think actually you'd need to do it with a spreadsheet. Because what I'm thinking is we put this here, and then we can have quite close to the other boxes. So maybe if I move them up to make a little bit of space, but or a little bit of separation anyway. Put that there. There's different sort of us, but still of us, yeah. Now trying unlocking the interstellar logistics, yeah. That will open your world. Yeah, the planetary and interplanetary logistics. It kind of became, you know, first time playing through, it was sort of obvious that that's in a sense like how you're supposed to play, and I think it's really cool that they've added this additional system. My assumption of part of like sort of why they've introduced it, I wonder why that's defaulting to a diagonal, is that it's part of the defense system basically, that obviously don't know what they're specifically doing on that front, but my sort of suspicion is that the idea is that it gives you a way of like restocking you know, like guns and stuff basically, or it gives you a quicker and dirtier way of making stuff, because obviously the whole, you know, the planetary and interstellar logistics system is quite resource intensive. You know, these things cost a lot to build, and they're quite high level tech. Now the CPUs are fairly difficult to build, but not actually all that resource intensive, because it's you know, 2 circuit boards, which is just iron and copper, and then the silicon microcrystalline is copper and silicon. So although they're difficult to build because of the times and the ratio being weird, etc., it's not actually that higher level a product. It feels like it is, because, you know, it is a little bit of a complicated chain, but they're actually, and obviously you couldn't build them until you've gone to your other planets, but basically it gives you a way of doing logistics very early game. And I don't think that'll be an issue like for normal settings, but I think if you've got it on the equivalent of, you know, Death World, you don't necessarily know, but if you've got it so that the enemy is set to really difficult, basically, I think they've kind of realised that you need like a... What am I trying to bring in here? We've got blue motors. You need a way of building something like at scale, basically. Did I set the limits on these? Set it on them. Yeah, okay. Anyway, that's my particular speculation for it, but we shall see. I suppose it also just gives you more things to play with, really, so never a bad thing. So we need the charged batteries. We've got the blue motors, but we also need ILSs. Okay. Want that to be a demand. I definitely want... Yeah, I didn't think I did. I definitely want that set. In fact, I think that's on 2 and it shouldn't be, shouldn't it? Right, let's copy that again. Is that set on 2? No, it's fine. They stack really high then, though, so... To demand in... I mean, it's not going to make any of these for ages, because... Demand that in. Because it would be ages, I think, before it fills up. So that's the ILSs. I'm curious why it's not brought any of those over. Ah, are they just all in here? It's interesting. I mean, this is the thing, you see, because there's such high material cost. They're very slow to build, especially in a system like this. So you're chugging away. You lack planetaries. Oh, it's the thing again that the bots are stealing them before they're even being made. Before they're being passed through. Okay. That's fine then. So presumably this is full. Yeah, we've only got 80 of those. What I could do, because I've actually got a ILS production of those. And we could tear that down, and I mean there's like loads in there, and we could just transform them out, further them over. I don't even know where it is now. Okay, so it's ready. It's ready to go whenever the bits and pieces are available. I would be curious. What have I set the batteries on? Oh, batteries aren't there. It's on 100. Yeah. I do wish you could set the maximum to lower, because some of the things it's like, you know, when am I ever going to use 100, energy exchangers? We've not made a single geothermal. That doesn't sound right. I know they're expensive, but that seems a bit extreme. So they're here. They're waiting for photon combiners. They are requested. Guess these are all just going into other machines. Maybe it does a closest thing first. Because it's weird that it's got 0. I'm looking at the wrong one. I mean, I knew it was going to be slow, that was sort of the point, but it's odd, well, interesting that it's not sent a single one. Let's see where it goes. It goes to there. So it's doing nearest first, isn't it? Interesting, interesting. Right. I think that's all of the fancy ones that I want to do. Because we've done the thrusters now. We've done the orbital collectors. I'm just going to leave them along with, these level 3 things. But we now need to make these more basic stuff. But obviously, I think I'll try and do them again, feeding across, between each other rather than, send them to a box and send them back again type of thing. Okay, so let's slurp of water. Okay. Because what I'm kind of wondering is, it'd be nice to do a different design as well, just to experiment. So perhaps, let's put a box there just so that we know we've got the room. And then, what might it look like? What ingredients does it use? So, that has 3 ingredients. If it went in, yes, we could. How have I ended up putting that? Oh, it's because that's in the wrong. I put my spacer in and then it's not in the wrong place. So that should be there. Is the point. But yeah, if we had then like that, and this went into a box here. Do these have common ingredients with the next level up? No, not at all. No, completely different. Okay. So if that went in a box there, because what I'm sort of wondering with these. So I'll have to work out where we got to. Sorry about that. I say it. When this machine is ancient, it's got like quite a good graphics card in it, but the CPU is, what must it be? 15 years old? I mean, it is. Oh, come on, silly thing. It is so long since I had the money to upgrade that it has been quite a while. So, also, I mean, I'd mentioned this before. They said on their blog posts that they basically admitted the game isn't optimized in any way. Right. So all I think I've lost is my planning then. So I am going to do a proper save though, so that we're not reliant on autosave. So if we just call this, what would it need to be? I guess it would need to be 11A or something. So we've got one that is now. Sounds like I need a new setup, but it's expensive to set. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, it's sort of a weird thing because this machine was so top end. I mean, it was as good as you could possibly get when I built it, and all I've needed to upgrade is the graphic card because it had a 970, I think. So how many generations ago is that? Was it a 970? It might have been an 880. But yeah, we've been the 10 series, 11 series, 12 series, the 2000 series is what's in it at the moment, graphics card, and then 3000. So that must be like, yeah, it must have been an 880. No, in fact, it wasn't even that. I think it was it wasn't even a GTX. The first GTX it had in it was a 970. Anyway, but the CPU was like, literally the most powerful one you could get at the time, and the motherboard was awesome, and the RAM was the fastest RAM you could get, and it was like 32 gigabytes of it. So I've not needed to upgrade for quite a while, and then I've not been able to afford to upgrade for about 5 years or so. But okay, it is on my list. There's the good part of the job that I was moaning about earlier on is that I say, because it's this weird monopoly company, what they call it, natural monopoly or whatever. Basically, they have to pay attention to the unions because it's like a lot of people I could, but a lot of people where I work are like legally forbidden from striking. Like the police or the army, I suppose, is a better example where they're just not legally not allowed to strike. But it means they pay a lot of attention to the unions. They don't, they don't tend to, argue with the unions when they when they demand things. Because even something like working to rule would be quite sort of disastrous, really. But it means I'm getting a fairly decent bonus and pay rise, given the general economic conditions. So I guess the question here is, how do we get it compacted? What I was basically wondering about, what I was thinking about, was that what we actually want with this system is more something where you can flip it to recycling, basically. So I've got them set up here to supply and demand and stuff. What you actually want with a system like this is to be able to flip this round, so that when I go and do all the upgrading, of all the machines, we want to be able to just dump them out, and it sends them for recycling. So this then becomes a request. In fact, it's a request at the moment, but this request wouldn't pull from this chest. The request would become a demand. I mean, at the moment, I don't know that I can support too many higher level machines. I could probably support that one, but certainly the sort of blue machine. And I think this system works quite well with that. But yeah, I've got three ingredients there, basically, is the point. So if I've got 2 ingredients here, because that would be, if that was the output. And these are completely different, so we would need an extra box somewhere. Like there, or what have you. And then it goes into another machine here. In fact, I'm just wondering if I can share with some of the other. So if there's a separate one here, I don't know what would be common though. Because that uses iron. How common are those things? So iron circuits. Oh, iron and circuits is common between them, isn't it? So maybe iron and circuits, and then what else? Gears. So it doesn't use gears. So gears could be there. That could be the machines coming out. And then this also needs CPUs and graphene. But if you're putting your stuff in a box there, what does because the high level one is completely different, isn't it? And like way different. So it's actually not going to work if it's there. I've put those boxes in the wrong place. Unions are the best. Yeah. Sell the minute you set up and use. Yeah, basically. I mean, it's that thing, isn't it? Of if you buy a car and basically as soon as you drive it off the forecourt, it's lost 40% of its value, sort of thing. Because all the profit for the company is basically tied up in it's just goes basically. So, but don't you need 4 ingredients? You do, don't you? So that just doesn't work at all. What about chemical labs instead then? So if this was... I suspect this is what I'm talking about optimizing, because I suspect belts or something. Yeah, belts would be probably a better option. And you'd have like 3 sets of 3 sets of machines, 3 sets of belts, 3 sets of, the inserters or something. And that would work as quite a nice set of like common build. So you'd probably have to plan all of that out. Well, not probably, you would have to plan all that out. So that didn't work too well. What about chemical labs then? There's not as many common ingredients, it's just the green circuits. Yeah, so that one doesn't really work. So we could certainly, have the 2 common ones there. And then we just sort of abandon the idea of it going across, and maybe instead it's here. Would that work? So if those, one of those was, does it have any common for the arc? Oh, it needs 3 other things. I mean, I could squeeze it in there, but that's pretty horrible, isn't it? Yeah, I think if I just abandon that kind of concept and we'll just make more space, basically. Do it as a properly separate build. In fact, do I want that still there? I probably do, don't I? Or, yeah, let's do that. And then this is the level 3 machine, which is only 2 extras. It sounded like that was charging. Oh, it is. Looks like we filled up the batteries then. Right, so idea is that that feeds into there, and that feeds into there, and that feeds into there, and that feeds into there. And for some reason, I've put smelters. Because of course I have. Is it that one? Yeah. Oh. There. That's better. Okay. And then... So those are the inputs. That's an input. That's an input. That's an input. Guess that if I make that the output. And then that's the additional input there. Yeah, and it's like you could do a lot of fiddling around with, you know, optimizing. I'm wondering if maybe I should do like an L shape or something, but so we'll just go with this for now. Let's just build the thing rather than optimize it before it's done. Right, put that there. 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 Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so guessing we've lost the copy paste as well. Okay. And then it doesn't really matter what I put where, I guess, does it? I'm still very tempted to put the smelter there. Maybe the second level one goes there or something. Just can't resist it. Just can't resist it. So this would be this, like the circuits and the iron. What else do you need? You need the coils and stone. So coils and stone would be there and there, see? That's the level 2 one. So this is the problem because I can't fit a 5th one in, and I need a 5th one because it's got. Oh no, that will work because that's got 5 now, isn't it? If we pass that across there, it goes in there, and then it's got say 3 extra things and an output. Yeah, that works. I think. We'll see. But I think that works. So your common ones are the circuits and the iron? Yeah. Let's put the drones in first. Oops. So we want iron. Do we want that in? Oh, it don't work though, does it? I'd have to put it the other way around. Because yeah. This needs to be the... I might as well make it symmetrical. The chain needs to go the other way. So that needs to be the feed through of the 3 machines. And then that can be common between those 2. With circuits, rather than those guys. And what else you need? Iron. So this is now the output. I can guess that. Oh, it's quite clever then. With the guessing. So this needs to be iron cubics. Demanding. Demanding them. Demanding them. You also need an inserter. Let's work on this first. So what else do you need? You need graphite and CPUs. I don't imagine... No, they're like the mega ones. Stone and steel and glass. No, because this isn't using steel or anything, is it? Well, what do you use? You're just bizarre, exotic ingredients. Exotic as well. Yeah. We'll just put it in there, but we might pinch that one if we put that as steel. Might pinch that one, but... Oh. Well, those have got limits on. And why have you now decided to put that on the side? Okay. This one hasn't got any connections at all. What? What's meant to be in there? Yellow machines. Why have they got none in there? Because it's put them all in there. Okay, that makes sense. Right. CPUs on this one then, say? Request that in. They did not instantly go and get those. That's interesting. Why not? Why not? 2 routes out of range, 3 routes available. Oh, there is one coming in. I've just used up everything. Oh yeah, okay. So looks like I finally stretched CPUs to breaking point. Where in the heck would they be? Ah. So this is, I come back to my, oh, here we go. So here's CPUs. We've even got green machines on. Just not enough production basically, isn't it? But it's yellow belt, is it? Yeah, we could go higher level belt now. Yeah, I mean they're all running. It's just not enough to support clearly what I'm demanding, especially with these stacking to 200. Okay, so we'll leave that for whatever it does. This box needs no, it doesn't. It needs one in there, I think. Seem to have too many, because that's the yellow. Oh, that's the green ones. Oh yes, so now that is meant to be into this machine. So this is meant to come in here and provide... Oh no, it isn't. Yes, it is, because I switched that around, didn't I? So this is the... In fact, guess? Yeah. Provide... Now this should be... graphite. Graphene, rather. So yeah, we've got plenty of that then. Okay. Still waiting on CPUs. Green there. So then, I think I've actually got the old fibre broadband things. Bizarrely. So if we make... Is that the output? I don't think that's the output, is it? Because I didn't switch them over. So... That's the output there. So these are the inputs. Let's just make sure the boxes are kept. And then you can do a guess. Provide. And then your particle fibre broadband things. No, clearly haven't got them. Which one have I got then? I'm sure I've got one of these. This should be the sort of quantum chippy jobs, haven't I? I probably have got them. They're not in the they're not in this requesting system. So let's see. I think we'll just put them on 100. Oh, we got both of them. I didn't know I'd done quantum chips then. Maybe you have to do them for green or something. Okay. So we need to put somewhere for them to go. Particle broadbands. Chips. And then you need the loggy thing. Bots, and you need to provide and provide. Oh, so weirdly, I've more capacity to make these, the level 3s, than I have these, because I've clearly got loads of those stacked up from the fact that the science is broken, but not so many chips, because I'm using them everywhere. Okay, so next one, we need stone and magnets. Everything is set on one, isn't it? Yep. So run out of power. There, power there. There. I honestly, I I was further along this. I thought I'd done the basic ones because I was originally intending to go and start using them. Because what I need to do now is feed these into ILSs so that I can actually use them on other planets. Because that's like the point of this. And the other option is I use the existing ones here, but because of how I've built this, we'd have to tear it all apart basically, or the other end, I think, isn't it? But it's like this, we've used up that patch, so we can get rid of that and put the ILS that's meant to be sat there. But yeah, my intention was to have a second row. It makes more sense, I would have thought, to put these directly into ILSs, but yeah, this is quite pretty. So yeah, I need like a second row essentially of these and feed them across. And this is what I was saying about like these belts. If we go now and just always do blue belts, which I don't think we will, but certainly yellows, we need to set up a system, and that'll break my brain, where this is pulling in yellows rather than sending them out. So maybe if it ends up... What's halfway between? I can't put it halfway between, can I? Because it's 5 squares. That's annoying. Maybe we line it up on the first one or something, or the second one maybe. But yeah. This needs to become, pull in them, but without that happening, basically. And that, as I say, tends to break my brain, basically. So maybe that should be demand or something. And it'll pull them over. I don't know, so I need to work it through, and I thought that's where we get to, but instead we are still doing this. So did I set these with their recipes? It's basically irrelevant. That is the output, so I can make you do a guess. Oh, it's already done it. Okay. Did I run out of... I've nearly run out of drones. Let's grab some more drones. Should be loads in here now. Yes. Lovely. Get all your drones in. Cool. Yeah, I don't think I finished that thought actually. So, because of the unions, basically, I am going to get a pay rise, and I am going to get a bonus. It's not going to be great because it does get prorated, so it's not quite 100% of it, and it's not the best bonus. But I'd assumed that was going to happen in the financial year. You know, at the end of the financial year, which is the end of March, so gone. But apparently it doesn't happen until July. But yeah, when July rolls round, I'll have a bit of cash that I'm going to spend on upgrading. It also happens to coincide with end of a loan that I've taken out, so we need these quantum wafer jobs. Certainly haven't got any of them. And then we would also need... So yeah, I'd sort of... Because I'm on holiday next week, so I won't be streaming. And that's when I'd originally thought, oh, right, I'll use that, and I'll use that holiday period and you know, build the machine, get it all ordered and stuff. But it's safer to wait. What else is this? It's something else weird as well. Frame materials. Okay. Where can I put them? Let's put them in there. Safer to wait, I think, and see what it actually means. Where the heck are frame? There they are. And we want to demand. So that's the plane filters. That would be those. That's a provide. Put that on distribute, but I say the cool thing of this is we can literally flip it, and we can, because you can do the belt reversal now, we can basically have this pulling out. You know, when we can start making the level 2 smelters, it's quite easy to just flip it round so that it demands them here rather than provides them. It's not made a single one. That is not a good sign, because I have forgotten to put these ingredients on. Demand that in. Demand that in. Yeah, it's going to work out fairly nicely with the timing. Okay. Got 2 more to put on. Oh, plasmas. Huh. Didn't I put them? I put them up there. Why are they in... I guess that was where originally I thought they'd maybe end up. So it's the wafers and those. Let's just request 100 of them. Oh, I'm making them. I surprised myself. Huh. Those 2 on. Oh, boxes aren't set. So let's pull. Oh, did I put the top? I did. I didn't put drones in there, did I? It's something always nice to get back. Yeah, so it always helps. Put the local on storage. Do you mean as in you can set this to storage? I think if you basically put it as a untick it, as it were, it would act as a storage. But yeah, it is. I mean, it's obviously a storage chest, so you can put it whatever you want. So you can feed in like anything in here and just have it filter on this. So this would be whatever they're called, wafers. I forgot to set the setting. Wafers. And then when we eventually do them, I don't know why it's trying to attach it to that. That's a bit weird. Right. Demand. That's right. Provide. Have a guess. You're explaining how the drone system worked and you put it in plasma. Oh, okay. Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that. In the interstellar thing. Yeah, thanks for that. I remember now. That's what happens, you see, when you get old. You just forget stuff. It just goes out your brain. So it's making stuff. This is still not getting... Oh, it's gotten 2. Okay. I think the other nice thing with these is because they don't get any... I don't think you get any proliferator extra products. But I don't think it works on machines, does it, that way? It's always just speed up. All the routines may have proliferate effect of extra products. All products. Oh, you can boost them. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought with all the machines. So that's a speed. That's just speed up. That's just speed up. Huh. So what I could do properly then, is that these could have proliferators on, couldn't they? And so when they end up in this system, they are proliferated. Huh. I'm not going to do that. I don't know the bonus amounts you get is worth bothering, but yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Right, so in theory, I'm still slightly amazed that I'm making them. So that would be that coming in. That's that final one. Right, so we literally have 2 machines to literally make. Apart from the third one. Okay. I mean, we might as well put that other one in as well, because I think is that the only thing I'm not making then? Oh, I guess there's the rail ejectors and the launchers, but yeah, whatever. I think we've then got absolutely everything else. In fact, shall I just put them down as a... If we put, just as a reminder here, I'm quite impressed that this 2 sides is basically a perfect match. I like how big it is. This is obviously longer, but then these should be ILSs really. So because they hold 5, I think actually I could build this so that it like forms a perfect, thing, perfect oblong or whatever. Right. Chemical labs then. So I'll just put it over here. So I can hopefully maybe make these today. And what we're left with then is the railguns and the launchers. I think that's then literally the only things I'm not making. So, I mean, there would obviously be the... I suppose there's rockets as well, but that would be a separate thing. But there's the old... Where is it? Artificial stars would be the other thing we might make. And this make everything. But yeah. Okay. let us try and put together chemical labs in this space. It might be... Well, let's have a look. What do chemicals actually need? Because it's sort of gone with the others. And I might be able to steal that stone. So I could steal that stone. But this is CPUs, isn't it? They don't use those. Because if I steal that stone, it wouldn't really help me, because this is where the arc things are, and the things that that's using are sort of irrelevant to that. So that's not really beneficial. Oops. So, I mean, if this was just a machine here, why does that feel like that's... Oh, it is, because that's in the way, isn't it? No. Where am I lining them up? Let's just put a box in. So we would want box there, box there, box there, box there, and then actual assembler there. And I guess extra box there maybe for the fourth ingredient. So then this is chemical plants, and they feed into chemical plant 2, which is presumably there, but that can't be right because it would have to be there, wouldn't it? Better, I think. So that's the chemical plant level 1, and then this is level 2 chemical plant. So what else do you need? You need titanium glass, so you need 3 ingredients. So if you have box there, box there, output box there, extra input box there. Yeah. In fact, why don't we do that? That can go down, that can go down. Cool. Okay, let's cap all of these. Okay. Whatchamacallit's on. This is the output, so provide... I didn't put any drones in them, did I? Okay. So that's that one, that's that one, and then doesn't really matter. What I say? Why has it suddenly started doing them on the edge rather than the middle? Right. So I say it doesn't matter. So steel, circuits. Let's do stone. And circuits and glass. And then that's feeding into there. So the extra ones you need are the titanium glass. No. Titanium glass. Demand that in. That won't be in the system, I guess. No. It'd be amazing if this ends up as a perfect match. That'd be awesome. Right, I did set the limit on that, but it doesn't have a thing on. We want it to provide. Cool. I mean, I guess if I put proliferation on, then it would be a perfect match. But we're bound to need something else. I think you need... Because... Oh, I'm not making them, am I? I don't think. I don't know why I would have set that up. Can't see them. They are awesome flying around, but it is a little distracting when you're trying to work things out. So let's put them on there because I don't think I've got them. Might be able to tell with this actually. 0 routes available. Yeah. So yeah. So there's a route for them, but obviously they don't have any. So that is missing as well. It's endless, isn't it? Endless. What do you need? You need then the green. Oh yeah, we're going to need more loggy things anyway, because we got the green dumbbells. Yeah, they're not in there either. Yeah, we'll need an entire new machine, I think. I mean, we won't have any of them because I think, you know, making them in one singular UFO hat thing. Lost them. Unless I've run out, have I? I think I've run out. Oh, yeah, there you go. I just sit and watch the drones doing their thing, yeah. There's the same in Factoria. I don't know if you've ever played that particularly, but watching the drones buzzing about is quite cool. It's not, they're nowhere near as cool as these drones though. These are awesome. As usual, this smashes it for the visual stuff again. But yeah, watching them going about. What it does have, I think, that is slightly better is that the sound effects of the drones in Factoria. I like the little buzzy bleepy noises they make. Okay, so the green dumbbells are just not there, but that's kind of as expected. What's the other one it needs? Quantum chips. Oh, we got quantum chips there. Oh, I don't care. Press them in. Make sure the chest is okay. So yeah, if green dumbbells we ever produce at volume, they're ready to go. Okay. So we're going to need another thingy because you need these optical crystal gratings to make the level 2 miners. And we got that as well to make. Oh, look, they've got 3 common ingredients. Huh. I wonder if we can do something with that then. 3 might be interesting to try and work around. How would we achieve that? I don't think we can do 3. We shall see. But yeah, so we are going to need another one of these. Where would it be placed? It would be placed... This is in the wrong place. Oh no! Should be 1 tile over. If I deconstruct it, my inventory will explode. Let's just stick a box down then. over here. So I've ended up with loads of junk again. I should be managing it with this, but there don't appear to be a lot of slots for this. And I don't know if it's one you can do infinitely. What else we've got? Bits of these and that and rubbish there and all of them. Keep that. Okay. Damn. Right. So I want to copy. Do I just say blueprint? Why is it not letting me edit that? I get confused with this blueprint system, but if we just hit use now as well. Right, I need to get rid of this now. Okay. And then get rid of that. If I just do Control V, yeah. Now, it should be there. Slots on the side can be used as inventory as well. Oh right, I didn't know that. They count as extra inventory slots then. Huh. Right. Let's put this stuff back in here. Like so. What's the other one? It wouldn't have any dumbbells, so that's fine, but it would have drones. Just as you need drones. Do you have drones? You do. Right, power pole there, and then where's my splitters? Is it aligned with the edge or yes? Yeah. No. There. Top hat, top hat, top hat. Do. Let's put that two. Pretty sure I've copied and pasted this empty one loads of times. What am I looking for? Optical crystal gratings. Okay. Not that we got any, but at some point we will. Right, distribute, provide. Oh. Awesome. So, they need the opticals as well, and the quantum chips. That's slightly unfortunate because this would be a perfect place for them. Can I make that work? So, if this was here, that would give it the opticals and the quantums. So it would need frames, do-do-dos, and do-do-dos. How might one be able to do a 3 boxes across thing? Because that's going to be too close, isn't it? It's going to moan about being too close. Would that be too far? Yeah, it won't let me connect that. And then that's fine. But I can't have a machine there, and I could double feed it across, but that's pointless, isn't it? No, I don't think I can do that. I mean, obviously, the real answer is belts. Use belts to do stuff, but I've decided to die on this hill, so let's die on it. Okay. So, if we put that there and say that there, that there, and that there, you're those. So you would get optical crystal gratings from there, quantum chips from there. You would get 2 of the ingredients from there and a 3rd one from okay. So which is like the most expensive and cheapest? So I guess really this should be, if this is the titanium on the bottom. In fact, I need to set the limits on these first. So yeah, the titanium's kind of the cheapest. So I'll have that be the one that it sort of doubles up. So it's going up to 6 o'clock, so nearly there, but we'll finish these off. This needs to be the UFO machines. So these 2 need to be the supermagnetic rings. I didn't put any drones in anything, did I? Nope. And I forgot to do the power. So it'll be there and there. And the other shared one is the frame materials. So that's going to be up. I didn't set it. And this would be exactly the same. So it's cool that it puts the drones in as well. What are you missing then? CPUs and graphene. Okay. We will provide you with CPUs and graphene then. Well, we'll put the boxes on. We know that CPUs are basically... In fact, I've got more CPUs than is probably available. But there you go. Okay. These need a single library. And you need a logistics hat thing. Where the heck are they? Drones. Okay, so it's graphene and CPUs. Graphene and CPUs. Which, as I say, in fact, I might as well just chuck them in. So start making them. So now it's got graphene available. That should be provide. This one doesn't have anywhere to put anything. Not that it can actually make anything, but it's the principle that counts. Right, okay. That is those 2 done. Well, there we go. That was fun. I say, it really feels like it's like itching for an optimization pass, as it were, of, well, we could feed these machines into here and this machine into there and that machine into there, and you know, shared boxes and all that sort of stuff. Feels like it could be really quite a fun challenge then. Also having it, rather than being, you know, either side of a line of these, if it was more a sort of block, maybe that would work better. But yeah, the thing that next needs to happen is they need to feed into these. I also should build proper things of those. What was the other one that was missing there? Is it the green dumbbells? Yeah, the green dumbbells we need. And the silica as actual production. So the four like base materials that are missing are the green. Oh, of course I can't set this to do greens because it doesn't do greens. But it was the... What was the other thing? Them. And then... Have I got one? I don't think I've got one. Would it have made one? Oops. Oh, it's made 4. Okay. So we need these. For the old green dumbbells. So I need an actual... and it's like... gets into the territory of being difficult to sustain because of the power draw. But we've made them. We've also made them. So in terms of the supporting inputs, let's just have a check through it. All of them. Oh, look, it starts off as 1,000. Nice looking good, thank you very much. All of them. So there's the frame materials. So that was missing. The photon combiners, did I put them? Yeah. So they're missing. Silicon we know, in fact, we can wait up 1,000. I've sort of been more and more conservative as I've gone down, but those are quite cheap. Titanium glass is probably quite heavily produced, so that's fine. And then those. Didn't these need something else? That's frame materials there. And those. So what we need to support them is these 4 ingredients being made in planetary logistics, etc. We also then need to know whether these have anything weird and wacky. So lenses. Lenses would need to be a production thing as well to support these in any kind of volume. And that would be kind of it. Apart from the suns. Yeah, so lenses also need doing. Aren't lenses made in regular old assemblers? Or have I imagined that? No, there we are. So, I mean, we need those to be produced anyway. So I guess that's the first task next time. If I get a chance, I'll feed them into the logistics, but I don't think I will. Cool. Let's just run through these then and make sure we've not missed off. In fact, I'll put that on supply. Back again. So we've made some of all of these. It's almost like our Make Everything has made everything. Ah! Orbital collectors, it's still not made any. Wow. So like 3 hours or 2 hours later, it's still not made any. Because that's an ILS. That's the power one. So it's the accumulators it's waiting on. And it's so slow because they take absolutely enormous. And I need to boost up like lots of the inserters and stuff as well. Because they're not actually feeding in as quick as the drones can supply them. Wow, okay. But there's nothing wrong with it, I think. It's not, I've not set it wrong. It's just not made any. Okay. And then obviously, well, I guess we've not made them. That's interesting. Is that because that was reliant on CPUs? Or have I just messed something up? Yeah, it's the CPU issue again. Just are none. And a few it has made, it's turned into level 3s, ironically. Okay. Oh no, it hasn't made a single level 3 then. Why not? Oh, I guess because if it had made any of these, it would have taken them over here. Why did that say 14? Where do you think you're getting 14 of them from? I mean, it moved then, which implied it's made one. But it hasn't made one. I've not accidentally got a second thing requesting them ever. See, +1. Let's see if that arrives. Which has gone away. There it is, 1. We've finally made a turquoise assembler. I was trying to remember what turquoise. I was streaming Bob's yesterday, and 2 of the ores are basically turquoise, and I was like, that colour, and I couldn't remember what it was. Old person brain, you see. Right, and we can't make them because we've not got crystal gratings. That's relatively easy to set up. We can't make them because we haven't got polar magnets. Again, we just need to go and mine them. Can't make them because there are no green dumbbells in the system. Can't make... Oh, we've made 6 of them. Perfect. They're chock-a-block. Awesome. I wonder if that should be on 600, shouldn't it? So it's a round number. Feels like we've made something that I haven't got a slot for here. But we do know we've got these 2 left. Okay, cool. For belts and sorters, don't you need a high volume? You're probably exactly right, yeah. In fact, what is it set on? Oh, I was worried then. That was autosave. Oh, yeah. I guess I've set that just, you know, just because sort of thing. In fact, it needs to be more than that, doesn't it, really? And then say, oh yeah, you're absolutely right. I guess I was just putting it because it was, you know, just get it making them, as it were. And I'm guessing, I mean, those can be tiny, that's fine. That's okay there. And these, I mean, I have millions of these, so, but really those should be set a lot higher. 100 of those is fine. And they, yeah, they should be higher. Look, they should be like 600 or so. That's a good spot. That should probably be 200. Same here. Because we actually use them. Because they stack to 50, isn't it? So that's 4 stacks. And then that's only 3 stacks. So that should be like, well, 1200 or something. There we go. That'll make it get busy as well. Welcome. You're going to need them later, definitely. So, let's pop up the old schedule. In fact, I'll pause that. In fact, I might just save it. Given what happened. I don't want to lose that or I'll forget what I've done. Okay. Right then. So that's it for today. That's also it for this week. And I won't be streaming next week. Because I will be on holiday. Yeah, that's my schedule. Yes, next week I will be on holiday. I will be visiting family, so I definitely won't be streaming. Because I will be away. I'm not going to say anything. Last time you know, the 3 weeks off. And I was talking about, I might do a special ANO stream or whatever, and then I just didn't. I just went into holiday mode and didn't even think about it. So I'm not even going to mention that. But yes, no streams next weekend. But then we will be back, and it should be like a long, continuous run, basically, over the summer. I'm going to assume that the system froze up because of overheating. The sun is kind of coming through a bit, so that might be it. If not, I need to work out how I'm going to cool the room down. And it will be July, I think, now before I'm going to be upgrading, where I thought I was going to be doing it over this holiday. So I need to work out getting it working. The other point is I could just like blast through the Dyson Sphere streams, because we're not that far off, and the later game is more about just sticking down blueprints and doing volume, basically. And at that stage, if I am having performance problems, as it were, it's going to get even worse, and I might have to just do it all off stream, and then do a final stream where I just finish off the Dyson Sphere or something again. Because yeah, if it's struggling now, it's gonna be groaning by the time we get to that stage of production. I figure out, yeah, I mean, the other thing, I can chop down settings and stuff. You know, I could probably take the graphics down even further, but it's the CPU that I'm because that's what they admitted in the blog, is that it was basically the game's CPU limited, and that's what needs upgrading in this. You know, that is 15 years old. I bet there's people who drop into the stream who are younger than this CPU. Right, yes, so that's it for this week, and this is thank you very much for the holiday wishes. And so we will be back in 2 weeks' time. In the meantime, if you wanted to catch up with any of the VODs on this series, on Bob's Mods, the series that I'm doing at the moment, on my aesthetic series, my No Spoon, the 2 previous Dyson Sphere playthroughs, loads of VODs all on my YouTube channel, if you wanted to check that out. So, just remains for me to say, if you've been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Dyson Sphere Program. Thanks for watching. Cheers. And thanks for chatting along.